It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only mean one thing.
Only mean one thing when you wasn't ever gonna work. It's a Wednesday. Time for the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing! We tackle all of your culinary conundrums. Of course, pose your questions to us on social media. Now, there's nothing more comforting than a warm bowl of homemade pasta. And with winter upon us, now is the perfect time to be making that delicious pasta dish at home. And this morning, in our beautiful new kitchen, to show us how to make it yourself, our pretty patrons of pasta, Chef Tash Galeba, as well as our resident foodie, Anel Potgieter. Ladies, always a pleasure to welcome you. What do you think of the new space? I've got to ask.
We love it.
Yeah?
I'm color coding this morning.
Oh, I can see. Yes, yes.
We are, actually.
Touches of green. And I'm excited about this because we're going to be showing everyone at home how to actually make their own pasta.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm hoping it's not too difficult because when we buy it in the shops, it's cut into beautiful shapes and sizes, but making it, is that a difficult process?
It's the easiest process ever, and it's one of the most economic things you can ever make in your kitchen, believe it or not, because you only need 2 ingredients, really.
2 ingredients?
2 ingredients, believe it or not, but when you want to go fancy, you can add in more stuff.
Okay.
So you need flour, you need eggs, that's all you need.
Simple as that.
As simple as that.
In what quantities?
There's about 2 cups of flour and then 2 eggs. But what I like to do with my pasta is to add additional egg yolks, and you can add a teaspoon of olive oil if you want it to be very nice and silky. Remember that it's going to dry, so fresh pasta, nothing tastes like it. Originally, it's made with semolina flour, which is nice and grainy. So, but the nice consistency is flour, all-purpose flour, and semolina, half and half.
Okay, good stuff.
And you can do this with your hands, but it takes a bit of elbow grease there. For sure, you can do it with your hands.
I asked a question during the break whether pasta is actually originally an Italian thing, and Anel, you had something to say about
Yes, it's actually Chinese. So thousands and thousands of years ago, the Chinese, the old civilization, did noodles.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
So you're going to let that...
Yeah. And you just bring it together.
Yes. So it's a very easy process. The eggs are going to join they are going to create the flour.
This is the part of the experiment where I'm like, teacher, is looking dry.
Yes. So when it looks dry, a little bit dry, add a teaspoon of water. But then if it looks watery, you add flour.
Okay,
so
good.
you just need to eyeball it and see what works, what doesn't work.
Eyeball your pasta. Okay. Yeah, so you're going to work it until it kind of... So what kind of consistency are you looking for here?
This is what you try and look at.
So we're actually, we're actually doing it here. We're not even going to let the magic of TV take over. We're actually going to show you how to do it.
Yes.
All right, so you keep working it.
Yeah.
So obviously if you were doing this by hand, you'd have to just have a bit more patience. Knead it, let it do its thing. By the way, SMS the keyword pasta 33728. And there you
are.
Have it.
So the pasta dough is normally slightly harder than your or tougher than your bread dough. So as I said, if you feel that it's very moist or it's wet in your hands, then you just add in a little bit of flour. And as Anel said, you just do the elbow grease.
We're going to show this technique.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's where the magic is. Getting it to combine nicely.
You sort of, it's if you do it like that, sort of a fold and stretch, yes.
It's for the gluten, eh?
You're developing your gluten.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then at the end, you'll end up with something like that.
Like this.
Now, once you've done that, do you let it rest for a little bit?
You have to let it rest for about an hour or so. The reason for that is that you've developed your gluten. You want your flour to rest, as with bread. But remember, there's no flour here, so it's not going to rise.
Oh, there's no yeast there.
There's no yeast. Yeah. Sorry, did I say flour? There's no yeast in here, so it's not going to rise.
Okay.
So you are looking for a consistency like that, which is sort of silky. As you can see, it's now not sticking to my hands.
Yes.
So you let that rest, you cover it, cling film, and you put it in your fridge. It's cold nowadays, so you can leave it out.
Okay. Now comes the magic. So
Yes.
you've now gotten into the ball, you've allowed it to rest for a little while,
Yes.
and the glutens have relaxed. Now it's time to do the things. You need to press it, right?
Yes. So what I do, I press it down with my hands. So it's just like a little bit thinner to go through the machine. And I really want to ask people to invest in something like this. This is my machine, and it's already like 22 years old.
Whoa.
So it stays like this. It's a lifelong investment. So what you do with this machine, you just put it at number 1. That's the biggest setting.
Yes.
And you roll it through.
Now
the
you
biggest,
roll your pasta.
Just hold that for me. Biggest through. So, and then you put a bit of dough, a bit of flour on it, and try and roll it about 3 times through the same setting.
Okay.
And then what we do, we just
Keep rolling. So you're going to go from number 1 to number
number
2
2.
and all the way through to number?
so to number 1. It all depends what thickness you
Oh,
want
okay.
your dough to be.
Yeah.
But the way I know it's the right thickness, like what I'm going to use with my ravioli today, if you look at this, this is perfect. You blow on it,
Oh,
and it must run away.
and it must run away. Wait, I need to try that. That's awesome. Well
And
done.
then you know it's a perfect thickness. Yes, it must dance. It must dance.
And they also say you must, if you put the pasta sheet onto your iPad, you should be able to read whatever is there. Well, maybe not as clearly,
I'm gonna
but
use
yeah. Can you see? You are able to see.
This one needs a few more rolls. Here we go. Okay, that's how you make pasta, and then
Yes.
we're going to be showing you how to enjoy it very shortly when we return with the Culinary Hotline. Bling!
Ting, ting, ting.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline, bling!
That can only mean one
It
thing.
means one thing when you are in the kitchen with your Feel Good Breakfast show on a Wednesday morning at this hour. It's time for the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting! Anel's been busy rolling this pasta since we last stopped. And as you can see, it's developed quite nicely.
Yeah.
And Chef Tash is also here. We're talking all things pasta today. And so after you've done all of this, the drying of the pasta is also an important part of making it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I dry my pasta on my washing line.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like in the middle of the day, the washing line is open, then I just hang it there. My husband comes home and say, "What? That's happened?" But it works like a bomb.
What if last week you did laundry? And then
It's so clean. It's
you
clean.
hung easy bloomers. And then what? Do you first give them a general
Wipe down.
and then you hang your, otherwise your pasta might have a flavor. Hey, whatever works for you. Whatever works for you.
Well,
But for other people who prefer to do it in a different way.
Other traditional way is always flour your pasta before you dry it because it is dough, so it's going to stick together, and people use rags.
I'd honestly sooner spend my Saturdays standing like this to dry my pasta than put it on the washing line. I'm just saying.
It's very practical, guys.
It actually really is. You are so right. But let's quickly talk about making vegan pasta, because the previous recipe we made had flour and eggs, right? So
Yes.
what if you're vegan but you also want to enjoy some
If
pasta?
you're vegan, you don't take eggs. Most pastas, if you read the ingredients at the back of pastas, they do not have eggs.
Oh, okay.
So yes. So especially the
Yes.
commercial ones, they do not have it. So they are vegan ready.
Okay.
But then if you are going to be making pasta there are specialized vegan flours.
Okay.
Like you will get a variety of flours these days. Almond flour, you get coconut flour. Obviously, you can't make pasta with coconut flour, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
will choose a flour that is vegan friendly.
Okay. But then what would you use as your mixing element? Because now you don't have the egg anymore.
Water.
So what? Water.
Just water.
Just water.
Flour and water.
If you want the silkiness, add a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is vegan friendly. All right, so on to the questions we found on social media from Sophia Lauren, who says, everything you see, I owe to spaghetti.
Yes, I also say that.
Okay. She says, well, I see a lot of different pastas on the table. Let's talk about the pasta shapes and what types of sauces go with different types of pastas.
So the general rule is that, like the thin pastas, goes with thin sauces, like your tagliatelles and your spaghettis. So if you get like thicker pastas, it goes with more robust tomato sauces.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a general rule.
And then you will get your shells. Shells are very nice in sort of keeping the sauce. So if you look at that, please
Like
pass
this,
it.
for
Yes,
instance.
that
This is
one.
the pasta
If
shells.
you look at it, it's sort of it's scoopy.
Yes.
So a very nice creamy mushroom something will fit nicely in there, and it will coat it nicely. And as Anel has said, the longer ones, they're more the creamy ones, not the tomato paste, because tomato paste is more thicker.
Okay, that's going to be the new way that I describe spoons from now on. They are scoopy, as Chef Tasha said. Yeah, pass me that spoon over there. Which one? The scoopy one.
No, you get like big shells. They're about this size, and you
Yes.
fill them with beautiful meat or with spinach and cheese, and you bake it like a cannelloni.
Yes.
Delicious,
Okay. And then,
delicious.
of course, these.
Yeah, this is
ravioli.
ravioli. So it's just like filled little pockets of pasta with anything you like. And I'm going to make a big ravioli later.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. But Chef Tash, I know that you
Yeah.
brought us your special recipe that you love to make when making pasta.
Delicious.
It is very easy. I love fusion cooking. So it's winter. So in winter, you want things that are going to warm you up a little bit.
Yes.
So with my pasta, I'm going to use some spices.
Look at
so
that
we
array
want
of
a little
spices.
bit of heat.
What do you have?
We've got chili flakes, we've got turmeric, we've got cumin, we've got paprika, smoked paprika. The reason why I choose that is normally we use chorizo in pasta, which is going to give it that smokiness, and we're going to lull it down with some cream, some coconut cream.
Goodness.
Oh, it smells delicious.
Yeah.
I feel
Yes.
that smell of the prawn this morning.
I might sound silly or stupid, but you refer to fusion cooking. What is that?
It's you don't cook one style of cooking because, as you know, cooking pasta is Italian, and they would not normally cook with spices. So the Indian cooking uses a lot of spices. So fusion cooking is when you use different styles of cooking and you fuse them to
In
come
this
up
case,
with.
Indian and Italian.
Yes.
And what a good fusion, eh?
Italian. No,
Itend-
it doesn't work. No. Tried it, failed. SMS the keyword prawn to 33728 for this particular
We've
recipe.
got garlic and ginger, salt and pepper all the time. So if you want to invite people into your kitchen, just do onion and garlic, and people will think you are cooking something very amazing.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I want you to give us the fast-forwarded version of
Okay.
this. So then the
So
prawn
we've got,
goes.
we activate our spices, and I've chosen prawns because prawns cook very quickly. As soon as they turn pink, they are ready.
Oh my word. I am
And-
salivating.
You don't throw your pasta water away. That is gold.
Yes.
So you use that to thicken. That is coconut cream.
Oh my word.
Yummy.
And then the pasta water is right next to it. You're going to
The
add that
pasta
to it.
water we add to it just to thin out our pasta sauce. And remember that we are going to put our pasta inside the curry.
Hey, look. Listen. What a wow. Okay, I'm going to allow that dish to do its thing like it's supposed to. And we'll be back with the Culinary Hotline Bling!
Ting, ting, ting!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling!
That can only mean one
It's a
thing.
pasta party on your feel-good breakfast show on this Wednesday morning on the Culinary Hotline Bling! Ting, ting, ting! Chef Tash and Anel have taught us everything we know right now about pastas, from making it to drying it, rolling it, cutting it. And now, after making Chef Tash's beautiful prawn, what is that? What do you call it? Prawn fusion pasta. It's so delicious. It looks absolutely amazing. Anel is about to show us her favorite recipe.
Yes, it's a giant ravioli. Tash, can you just put that down a bit? I'm just scared
I've
that
switched
bacon-
it off.
Oh, you switched it off, yeah.
Okay.
It's a giant ravioli, so it's one of these
Okay.
raviolis filled with the filling, but I like to serve it just one per person.
Yeah?
One per person.
Is that
Yes.
that like as a starter or as
It's a main meal.
What?
You know, it's a main meal.
Oh, you mean the giant one?
Yeah, the giant one.
Okay.
So, let's start
I'm
with
not coming for dinner at your house. What am I going to do with one of these? It's a lifetime of starving.
So what I've got here is just a bit of ricotta. And I'm going to mix in Let me just do that. You just
Okay.
want to get it together. A bit of parmesan. I'm going to add a bit of pepper. I'm going to add some basil because you need to put the flavor in here. And some
Yes.
lemon zest. And I'm just going to bring it together. I'm just going to give it a little bit of water just to bring it together.
Okay.
Then what you're going to do with this, we've got 2 sheets of pasta here.
Yes.
I'm just going to add a little bit more water.
That's all right. By the way, if you just joined us, Anela's showing us how to make her giant ravioli. SMS the keyword dish to 33728, and we'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the list of ingredients. Okay, so you bring it together.
Yeah. So I'm going to just spoon. So what you want to do is create a little nest for your egg.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spoon the ricotta. This is now beautifully seasoned ricotta. I'm going to put like an egg in here, so I'm giving it like a little bit of an indent.
Oh, hence the nesting.
Yeah, so you take an egg yellow and you beautifully add it in there.
Have you done anything to that yolk? Or is it just
It's
as
a normal egg yolk. You can use beautiful quail egg yolks that you can find at the Chinese supermarkets or anywhere. So what you do then, the big thing is to seal the sides now. So just a little bit of water on the side.
So it's now nicely nestled in there. It's like an episode. You need David Attenborough to go like,
And there you have it.
Yeah.
The ricotta cheese beautifully nestling the yolk.
Yes.
And as you spread some water in order to allow for the adhesive function to apply, you lay over.
You should totally go into David Attenborough. Please go into cooking.
But now the secret, Kat,
Yes.
is to seal it like this softly around to get all the air out.
Goodness.
So what you do is seal it beautifully like that. Just
Yeah.
look at that. And make sure the sides are sealed. Because the egg is going to cook now and it's just going to be like
Yes.
runny.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
So like that. And then I've got a giant one here. Then you just with a little cookie cutter.
This is like the fanciest form of eggs Benedict I've ever seen in my life. That's about to happen.
There's your cookie cutter. And there's
Wow.
your beautiful.
Bravo, bravo. That looks amazing.
And then what you do, you just put it on the side and you leave it there till you've made all your friends each a one of those,
Yes.
a ravioli. Then you boil it like that, like so. And you see the egg is still runny. Sorry, I touched it. And
Do you need that?
Yeah, so what I've put in here is just a bit of bacon. I'm going to add some lemon zest as well. There's
So
a
this
bit
is
of lemon-
essentially a breakfast-style giant ravioli.
No, I'll serve this anytime. This is like any time of the day. I'm
Okay.
going to even add some more of that. Tash, you can just
I
pour-
get you because of the egg and
Yeah.
bacon and,
And the
cheese
bacon and cheese.
So what you
everything.
do now is this. You just
What's in there again?
butter, bacon. I've added a bit of lemon juice. You can add anything that you like. Lemon zest. And Kat, I would like you to try this actually.
Goodness.
There you are.
I'm nervous, but I'm excited all at the same
because
time.
it needs to, it's still runny inside there.
Yes,
So
yes.
Is there a
Okay.
knife? But you can just grab the spoon, I think, will work the best.
Yes.
I'm going to add some even more of that.
Just go at it.
Yes,
Just go
yes,
wild.
just indulge.
Okay, let's allow it to just do its
Yeah.
thing.
And then you do
Do
that.
it for the gram.
There you
I'm
go.
good. Oh, look at that. It just did the things.
And
okay, I'm
that
gonna cut it
is
with
a beautiful
spoon.
ravioli. And you can fill it with anything you
Oh
like.
my word. Am I about...
You can have everything.
I don't know. Sorry, this is not TV etiquette, but it is just so deliciously looking.
If you're vegetarian, you can remove, I think, the bacon, and you can just go with the bernozert, which is the burnt butter.
Are you dancing? Are you dancing?
That's how good it is.
Is it delicious?
We're here.
Huh?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only mean one thing.
Yeah, that's what it means. That's what it means, and it feels like this. It's the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing! On a Wednesday morning hangout with Chef Tash and Anel, and we've been discovering all kinds of interesting information about pasta, and we've made a prawn linguine, we've made a giant ravioli, which is absolutely beautiful, and now we're going to be breaking down the pasta lingo. Anybody heard of the word al dente? Al dente in a recipe? Well, what exactly does al dente mean in terms of pasta, Chef Tash? Let's explain that to everyone.
It means with a bite. So you don't want to overcook your pasta that it's very sloppy and you can't bite through it. So
Okay.
it needs to have a little bit of a bite, but still nice and soft.
Yeah.
So it must not be leaning towards the raw side of things.
Oh, okay, so it must be tender yet firm.
Yeah.
Kind of like... I'm just, hey. Pasta we're talking about.
I've got a tip for the viewers.
Yes.
When it comes to al dente. If you look at your packet, it says like cook the pasta for 10 to 12 minutes. Then I'll cook it for 10 minutes, not the 12 full minutes, because you're still going to put it through the sauce as well. So that's going to get cooked as well. So then it's perfectly al dente.
And whilst we're on the topic of sharing tips about cooking pasta, it's to be noted that, I mean, if you are cooking it for 10 minutes and it says 10 to 12, when you take it off the heat, the water is still hot.
Yes.
So it's still cooking.
Talking about the water, one of the most important things about cooking pasta is the water. Your water has to taste like salt water because pasta is like potatoes. They suck in a lot they take in a lot of salt.
Yeah.
So if you don't want tasteless pasta, salt your water very well.
Because you could have the greatest sauce in the world, but if the pasta itself has no flavor,
Then,
it can be quite a bland dish.
Yeah, the Italian says it must taste like seawater.
Oh, okay.
So that's how salty it must be.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, let's quickly share some more pasta cooking tips. For me, I remember when I was in university and I was making pasta, I used to use the ceiling test. And I don't even know where I learned that from. That's where you, in order to test whether your pasta is cooked properly, you throw it up against the ceiling.
And it has
and
to
if it
stick.
sticks, then you're like, it's good.
Only you can.
I dirtied that kitchen, hey?
I know that trick, but
And then you leave it there, and then a week later somebody walks into the kitchen just like,
I was never tall enough, so I used to throw it on walls. And
Wait, but did you go full force? Like,
yes. So later I discovered that is actually overcooked. Because if
Okay.
it sticks, then all the starch is on the outside and it's limp and all that.
You are like two old pasta hooligans.
So wait, what's the proper way of testing, especially if you're making spaghetti? Because that's the easiest one to work with, at least. How do you know that it's cooked just right?
So I will cook it according to the packet instructions, and then it's just in taste.
Okay.
Give me a bit of yours, a piece of yours. So you can actually taste the bite of it. There must be a bite to it. It mustn't be like soft and...
Linguine.
This has got a bite to it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Definitely.
give that so that I don't
In
compare
fact.
to...
There we go. Oh, okay, give Kat the taste.
Yeah. So
All
you
right.
will taste the bite. There's a bite in there. So
Okay.
it's not like soft.
Let Soma make you taste the prawn as well.
Bless you, Chef Tash. And while we do that, let's also share some more tips. What else do you have?
I believe in a big pot and not overcrowding the pot with pasta. So the
Yeah.
water must be boiling quite fast, and then I add the pasta. Oops. Excuse me.
Yeah. Those
And
herbs.
I'm not overcrowding the pasta, the pot, so it can
Yes.
Lovely.
boil freely.
And I think if you want to go fancy, you can color your pastas as well using natural ingredients. I'm all for knowing what goes into your food.
Yeah?
So you can you must roast your vegetables. Never boil them, because when you boil them, they suck in the water. So roast them, crush them. You can puree them. Once you saw how we're making our pasta earlier.
Yes.
So you are going to put in your roast beets or spinach or whatever you want to flavor or color your pasta with, and it will take on the flavor as well as the color of the vegetable that you've put in there.
Oh my word. Okay, so you can actually have a lot of fun with your pasta. I mean, even right now with the spices you added, it's kind of turned yellow.
Yeah.
So you can have a lot of fun with that. And
I also dyed with squid ink, the black squid ink.
Yes.
That's why you get that black pasta.
pasta. Or perhaps
Pasta nero.
the activated charcoal, because that's actually used in a lot of cooking and baking these days.
definitely.
Right. Wow. Okay, so many things to share, and I hope that you learned a lot, that you SMS those keywords. Pasta for one dish, to make the pasta. Prawn for Chef Tash's prawn linguine, and dish for Anel's giant ravioli. I'm sorry, are you okay?
No, I'm fine
Somebody
now.
bring us some water or something. There's some water, you can have a sip of that.
No,
But
you can't.
that is it for this week's edition of the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, pasta!